My favorite part of the show. Time for Money, Power, Politics. The Wall Street Journal reports Facebook is now asking banks to share customers' financial and transaction information. That's true. Over the past year, Facebook has reached out to JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and U.S. Bancorp to discuss potential offerings like connecting customers with Facebook Messenger, displaying account balances and fraud alerts on their platform. When asked for comment, no bank indicated they were interested or pursuing any sort of deal with Facebook, at least not now. Facebook says bank customers would need to opt in to any proposed services. Joining me now, my dear friend, New York University professor and author of The Four, Scott Galloway. All right, Scott, I got to start on this. Facebook wants to be more than the service they are. They now want to get into this business in terms of collecting customer data from banks. While I understand they've got lots of divisions inside Facebook, given the massive fire they need to put out, why on earth would they be saying, let's get more information, financial information?
Yeah, it's sort of what couldn't go wrong, right? So, but at the end, look what happened. They announced it yesterday. It became public, and their stock was up, and their stock was up again yesterday. It makes sense for messaging and voice, which I believe are the futures or the technologies of the future, to be enabled for basic information, whether it's the ability to get Uber, put something in your shopping cart, find out what is the tallest mountain in Africa, which is how my kids use Alexa, and also to get basic financial information. The issue here is Facebook the one that should be managing your financial information? Because imagine you're Jamie Dimon or the head of a bank, and Facebook, the platform, is weaponized because they don't put up the requisite safeguards, which has happened, and there's a run on banks and bank stocks go down. How does Jamie Dimon or anyone say, well, we had no idea this was going to happen? So I don't see how you do this as a thoughtful fiduciary for shareholders. Distinct to the morality, you can't, I don't see how you do this as a bank executive, because if something goes wrong, I mean, you were warned, right?
Banks are highly regulated. Banks have know your customer rules around it. Is the issue here across the board regulation? Because as it relates to Facebook, their job is not to be a fiduciary. Their job is to make money for shareholders. And you and I can complain about what they're doing all day long, but at this time, they are not breaking the law, and their stock price is going up. And that's what Mark Zuckerberg's priority is.
I think we have what I would call so much cloud cover from outrageous activity among other parts of our society and government that it shields what is just behavior that would not be allowed or would get more attention in the corporate world. So Facebook, we probably had what was arguably a subterfuge of our democracy, and people get angry, but the stock is up. People get upset at Amazon's dominance, but every municipality is falling over itself to transfer wealth from municipalities to
tech. So if you're Bezos or Zuckerberg, you can just turn down the news, just like President Trump. Say, I'm not going to pay attention to the news. I'm still the president. Bezos can say whatever you want about me. My stock's up, and I'm the richest guy in the world. But at some point, as it relates to Facebook, I pose the question, does Facebook need to shut it down until they have this issue resolved? When I asked last week, I compare it to Tylenol. You could have one bottle that's contaminated, and they overcorrected and took every bottle off the shelf until they figured it out. Now, when I said that, people said, that's crazy, because there are people who are dependent on Facebook to run their business, to communicate with others.
Yeah, so Johnson & Johnson, the textbook case study in how to handle a crisis, leadership right out front, respond immediately, and overcorrect. Facebook's primary response to crisis has been delay and obfuscation, and to say things, well, we want to give voice to the unheard when there's ethnic cleansing content in Myanmar, or to limit the amount of forwarding of messages and run newspaper ads in India.
Tylenol could have said, I really want to help an old granny over there who has a headache, and her Tylenol is probably okay.
Well, they could have easily said it was an isolated incident, which Facebook has done. But look, at the end of the day, and I hate to say this, Facebook is doing its job. We'd like to think that the third wealthiest man in the world and a woman who's written eloquently about personal loss and the work-life balance would have more concern for the Commonwealth. But they don't. And a key component of capitalism
is... It's not their job to.
That's right. A key component of capitalism is for-profit firms. Tobacco companies, we're going to run unchecked, right? It's a more profitable business model for manufacturers to pour mercury into the river. But we've decided that the reason we give 23 cents on the dollar to the government is they think long-term for us. There are a lot of people who would fly on airlines that didn't have maintenance or only one pilot. But we've decided, no, that's a bad idea. We're going to regulate them. And for some reason, we've decided not to hold big tech to the same scrutiny we've held every other industry. So there's been no regulation. 4% of our elected officials have a background in technology or engineering, so they don't even know where to start. And these are our idols. Steve Jobs is our hero. These are our Tom Brady's and our Giselle's. So we have decided to not hold them to the same scrutiny as everyone else. It's you and me and the citizenry and the voters that are failing here.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.